People went missing, just disappeared.
What happened?
Did I like this episode? Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. So, honestly, in regards to episode 2 of season 2, Lux, yeah, I actually liked it. We can get rid of hang on. Ooh, there we go. Looks a lot better. It's like I didn't totally phone this in. But anyway, so this story starts off with, well, a little look into exactly what is going on with the beginning of this episode, which is, hey, we're in the 50s, everybody's in the movie theater, and then a cartoon comes to life in the most convoluted way possible. But then again, looking at how these harbingers or cosmic entities come into play, sort of par for the course, so I'm not going to take it away too much from that. Then we cut to the Doctor trying to explain why he and Belinda can't get to May 24th, 2025. Um, a bit here, bit there. There's a bit note, hey, can we take it to like the Time Lords? Like, no, we can't. And there we go. And of course, that was what was that, Gridlock? Reference to Gridlock? Yeah, I think it was reference to Gridlock, where Martha asked about the Time Lords, and the Doctor, no, can't really go there. Why would I? Uh, then they arrive in 1952, Miami, and they get sort of embroiled in the plot. One big part about this is that the Doctor's planning to use a vortex indicator, or vortex vindicator. Um, the idea being is that where they land in one spot, and the vortex, the said item, will create a line to May 24th, 2025, and they can pull the TARDIS through. And I'm like, okay, so I think that's how this episode is going to go. And honestly, that's the idea for the season, where the idea is that the Doctor's is using this device to pull himself and the TARDIS episode by episode to May 24th. That's not a bad idea. It sort of gives the heading and whatnot. Then you arrive in 1952, and despite Belinda wanting to get there, all of a sudden hearing, I go into 1952? Why she would is beyond me. But honestly, by the time we get there, and into some costumes, actually might be Shooty's best costume as the Doctor. Um, yeah, honestly, I think it works. I think it suits him. Um, she looks lovely. I don't, um, then there's some sort of great moments before we sort of get the plot moving. There's when they get to the Palazzo movie theater and they see it. Belinda points out that she studied Rock Hudson in school about the HIV. I'm like, okay, that's what I like to see in Doc 2. I like to learn something. That's great. And they get to the diner where they hear about, the 15 people that went missing. And actually, pause, my favorite part about this episode here, and I just loved it. Everyone did a great job. Is when, well, it's one problem, but we'll get to it, is when Belinda finds out that the diner is segregated. All right, it's a whites only diner, and the Doctor points out it's illegal for them even to be there because while Belinda isn't black, she would fall under that category of basically not white. Belinda wants to give it outrage, and the Doctor's like, we don't have time. uh, Stifle it, let's go. And Belinda starts to say something, but the Doctor's like, look, I've toppled worlds before. Sometimes I have to wait for others to topple worlds. All right? Until those times, I just shine and keep on. I like that. The Doctor pointing out, look, I could. I get it. It sucks, but this isn't something I can just fix. I don't get to topple this. Also, I like the Doctor look at his hand like, might be the best we are here this late and no one can see us. It was always the elephant in the room. If the Doctor's black, what's going on? Also, I don't quite get how Belinda not knowing about segregation is sort of makes sense anytime doesn't make sense. So in the UK, there was no law promoting segregation. I just looked this up, so I could be definitely wrong on some place, so I'm not going to go too into it. But segregation there were whites only areas, but nothing sponsored by, like, there was no law saying it. Segregation was in the books in parts of the U.S. All right, particularly in the South. Florida's in the South. Actually, you can't get any more South America than Florida. Well, I guess like the tip of Texas and Hawaii, but at that point, you're not even in the country anymore, but you're still state. So They talk, they find about Tommy Lee, and they get there. Honestly, I'm enjoying this episode. Let's be clear. This is possible. Honestly, this might be one of the two episodes I've generally liked in this era. Like, I think what 12, if we count the specials, maybe 15 episodes total. I could be wrong. We don't have more than 15. I swear on that one. And I think I maybe only liked like three of them, like all the way through. But anyway, so we go through. The Doctor and Belinda meet Mr. Ringading, he's very interesting. I do like him. I do like his design. I do like how Belinda and the Doctor sort of study him. They're like trying to figure him out. Belinda doesn't quite seem to get like he has to be a hologram. Like it's 1952. How is he a hologram? And so we're trying to understand exactly what he is. What is this cartoon? And this is sort of where it gets a bit dark. Actually, it's been dark a while, but this is also where the episode tends to sort of Russell's been trying with these cosmic gods. He really has. I honestly think he dropped the ball with Toymaker. Like a lot of what he was trying to do sort of fell into the background of him just enjoying having Neil Patrick Harris. And I'm not going to fault him for that. Neil Patrick Harris is a phenomenal actor, and he had fun as the Toymaker. I didn't quite enjoy that story because it just sort of like every idea it had just sort of went elsewhere. Then we had Devil's Court. Honestly, the Maestro I felt was a great character, great presentation, but no, it just didn't quite. And Sutek, no, I've been on the TARDIS the whole time. What about the time it blew up? I leapfrogged. Anyway. So then it sort of gets like really creative. Like this episode is nothing if not creatively done. So at some point, the Doctor and Belinda are turned into a cartoon, and sort of hilarity ensues. They're like, well, if we talk more, we become less two dimensional, and we get more edges. We get like a bit more rounded. I'm like, okay. Okay, I really wish they played around a bit more with that, like going into different cartoons, different genres. I think that might have worked a bit better. Then we get a bit meta commentary where it turns out, hey, we're actually fictional. We're not real. And it turns out the people who tell them they're not real actually aren't real. And they like this very weird attempt at the Doctor Who fandom, which, to be fair, Russell could have been very petty, and gone full in with different members of the fandom. I do find it hilarious that they all think the best episode is Blink. Russell picking another episode from his era. I would have never said Blink. I'm sorry. I know everyone loves Blink, but Blink is not a good episode to get people into Doctor Who. It isn't. It isn't. Because that implies like, well, there are a lot of episodes where the Doctor's in the background. No, there aren't. No, there aren't. No, there aren't. But anyway, they find the way out, and I think one thing when the episode really drops the ball is with Reginald. Reginald is the guy that plays the movies in the theater, and apparently, well, not apparently, Mr. Ringading has sort of like got him to sort of help out by playing a giving a movie of his late wife. I'm like, oh, okay, how did this come up? How did this come about? Can he read minds? Can he reveal what people want and trap them? Why is he not doing this all the time? And Reginald, to be fair, does a great job selling the fact that he's a man who mourns the loss of his wife. I like that. Um, Not for him, but like as a viewer, I do enjoy that. Um, Belinda finds out more about the Doctor's regeneration or bioregeneration, that energy left over. Hey, look, the Doctor's hand has been injured. Luckily, the Doctor saves enough regeneration energy to fix his hand. Russell just. But anyway, Um, also during this time, Belinda learns more about the Doctor. The fact that it's not that they couldn't go back to Gallifrey; it's that Gallifrey is gone. It's in ruins. The Time Lords are all dead. Also, not mentioning again that it's also technically not really my people. But I'm not going to nitpick that one because I do like the idea that the Doctor still sees himself as a Time Lord, as a Gallifreyan. Why wouldn't he at this point? Even if we count his unaccounted lives, they've all seen themselves as Time Lords, as Gallifreyan. Um, so I don't see the point of really bringing that up when it's not necessary. And when the episode kind of like solves itself, it turns out what Lux wants is to um, get more light. But if you get too much light, he'll become everything. Like too much light will kill him, or at this point, make him become pure light. Therefore, he's powerless. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Honestly, he might be have been the easiest to defeat of the gods so far. The minor gods, the lesser gods, the chaos gods. You know, we had the toy maker, the maestro, um, Sutek, and the harbinger. Isn't he the harbinger? Lux, he's the god of light. So we've seen the god of games, the god of music, the god of death, and now the god of light. This is a very weird pantheon, um, but whatever. Ultimately, he's defeated, um, courtesy of Reginald. Reginald seeing an image of his wife, offer like find me and offering him the matches used to burn it down, which might be a reference to the fact that during the time of the classic era, particularly Patrick Troughton's era, um, the BBC had a lot of his episodes burned because film was just too hard to manage and there was a lot of it, and they didn't believe in reruns. Television was a weird time. And the episode ends with Mrs. Flood showing up. Because of course she does. So yeah, I think we all get Mrs. Flood's gonna play some big role. If she does, it's gonna be I'm gonna find it hilarious. But overall, I would say this episode was pretty good, pretty solid. I enjoyed it. Would I have done some things differently? I probably would have played around with the whole their cartoons a bit more. Um, Maybe fix it at the end. Sort of try to connect Reginald and in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. He just sort of is there for a bit. And while I'm not one to really hammer home on this, I really felt the segregation angle might have been a bit downplayed in some areas. Like no one's uncomfortable by the Doctor and Belinda, and I'm not saying I want everyone to be uncomfortable. Dot and Bubble already, I think, gave everybody their daily dose of racism. But this definitely felt like a better, more grounded approach to Rose, which borderlined on the absurd in one or two areas. But I'll get to Rosa in another time. We're going to talk about this Russell, not Chibs. And yeah, I I liked it. I think it's a interesting breath of fresh air after my less than cheerful response to um why did I remember it? Why did I remember the episode? Jeez, I've blocked it from my mind. Blocked it from my mind. Let me consult the Matrix. Let me consult the Matrix. So robots, something robots, stupid robots, annoying robots. Belinda meets bad robots, incels and robots. Also, Shooty didn't cry this episode. There was nothing to cry about, so that was great. But I think at that point we're just nitpicking, and I'm not gonna make fun of it if there's no point in talking about it. I think this episode was just more focused than the other one. Like, we weren't trying to introduce someone new, we're just trying to introduce the mystery and the companion getting involved in the mystery in the world of Doctor Who. I think that's great. I think that's fun. And I think, Belinda deserved a better episode than what she got as the first one. But either way, like I said, we're wasting time here. So anyway, if you are new to the Bug Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, smash the thumbs up button. I'll catch you all later. This is the Bug Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching as always. May your fandom serve you well.